Alright, so the first thing you want to do is get your 3/4 cup of milk warmed up to about 115 degrees Fahrenheit. I usually just put it in the microwave for about 30 to 35 seconds, depending on the power of your microwave. And after that, I just add probably about a teaspoon of sugar to it. The sugar helps kind of give the yeast something to feed off of, and it helps it bloom a little bit better. So I added the sugar. Now I'm adding the yeast. And I'm just gonna stir it up a little bit into the milk, make sure it's submerged. And then you want to let this sit for about 5 minutes. When it's ready to go, you'll see it kind of start to foam a little bit and bubble a little bit at the top. That's when you know your yeast is proofed and it's ready to go into your dough to ensure that your dough rises properly. So after that, what we're going to do is put the melted butter as well as the melted vegetable shortening into the bowl. And since we're putting eggs right into this, it's best to warm these up and then let them sit for a little bit so they're not too hot. Otherwise, when you put the egg in, it might cook it a little bit and that'll mess with the texture of your dough. So I've let those sit for a little bit. So we've added those 2 ingredients. Now I'm going to add the egg. I should just bring the trash can right up to me right now. That's what we want to do. Boom. And then these 3 I'm just going to whisk around with the fork a little bit to get the egg fully beaten. And then to add to that, I'll add the rest of the sugar. And then about a teaspoon of salt. It's about a half. Probably should have taken the cap off, but whatever. So that's about a teaspoon of salt. And we're also going to add the sour cream. The sour cream is not a common, actually I've never seen it in a donut dough recipe before, but every time I get Krispy Kremes or just a really good donut from like the bakery, it just seems like it's got this kind of salty, savory texture to it. And it's got a little bit of sweetness in the dough, but it's just also has like a savory style texture to it. So I added the sour cream, and I felt like it gave my dough a little bit better of a flavor, and I think it contrasts to the sweetness and the richness of the glaze better as well. So got all those mixed up. The yeast is starting to bloom. You can see that. That's what it looks like when it starts to bloom up. So the yeast is about there. This is well incorporated. And throw that away. This shit out of the way. And we're going to go ahead and add the yeast because it's definitely proofed enough. Brown. And then whisk that into the egg butter mixture as well. And now what I'm going to do with my 2.5 cups of flour is just add it about 1/3 of amount at a time.